dish is black pudding, and I'm going to cook it with a wee bit of mustard, and then we're going to serve it with a traditional Scottish dish actually, which is called Clapshot. The black pudding, so it's a blood pudding, blood oats, and it's made just up the road from here in Grace Hill, so it's Grace Hill black pudding by a man called Hugh Anderson, who's originally from Ayrshire, and it's his granny's recipe. So it's if you get a Southern Irish black pudding, they tend to be quite coarse. This is done in the Ayrshire way, so it's very, very smooth. I prefer this, to be honest with you. But we'll start with our Clapshot. So just in the pan, I'm going to put in some butter, and I've already cooked off. So Clapshot is turnip and potato, just mashed together. But we'll get a bit of butter going here to get a nice bit of flavour. So I've already cooked the turnip and the potatoes together. So nice big turnip here. So this is this is I think this is our national vegetable really, because it's sort of in England they would call that a Swede, but it's turnip, and nothing else. And we've got potatoes here, and these spuds are actually a local spud. They're called a Sharps Express. They're really good, old-fashioned, tasty potato. They mightn't be the most beautiful, but they taste absolutely gorgeous. That's all that matters. So these are all, I've boiled these up already, so they're just, and all I want to do is just coarsely mash them. This is not a fine puree or anything like that. This was my granny's, so I'd say it's about 60 years old. You can see it, and I just never want to throw this out. So that was one of my most prized possessions. So traditionally, now I love this, and it would be tradition, is to serve, when you're mashing these together, is to season them with black pepper as well. And I've got this black pepper here, and it's actually, now it's from Ballycastle on the north coast. It's smoked black pepper, so it's very lightly smoked by a guy called Rory Morrison. He's originally from the island of Islay, just off the north coast of Northern Ireland, just over to the right a bit. And he smokes salmon, but he also smokes black pepper and salt. So we're going to use the black pepper to season this. So it just gives a nice smokiness, and it works really, really well with the black pudding. So butter's melted in with our Clapshot, all of that in there. And I'm just going to let that warm through a wee bit. The spuds and turnip are still quite warm, so they're just cooked and drained again really well. And then at this stage I'm going to put a bit of the black pepper in just to get it through the whole dish. A tiny bit of salt, not too much, just a bit of salt. And then just give this a good old mash together. So just good old fashioned potato masher. Get her in there, get her going. As I said, this is just a nice rustic kind of dish, just with a coarsely mashed turnip and the spuds. And I honestly see this here just with some sausages. It's lovely. Great with nice bit of bacon even. So turnip to me, I actually just would eat this on its own. It's lovely. But we're going to make it even better with our black pudding. So that's sort of that. Look at that wee stir around. I think that's nice and hot now. So what we're going to do is I'm going to set that aside for a wee second and concentrate on our black pudding now. So you can sort of see that there. You see the bits of oat in it, but it's actually quite smooth. And he's used pinhead oatmeal. It'll take 5 nice bits there. Also, to go with this, we're going to do a wee bit of onion. So we're going to make a sauce in the pan just with the black pudding. So just nice. I'm going to finely chop this because you don't want big crunchy bits of onion in this. So there is onion already in the black pudding as well. I went to see Hugh a couple of years ago when he was making the black pudding, and it's lovely. It's just he's got secret spices, but I know one of them's nutmeg, and there was onion in it. Well, it's very, very simple. So a nice hot pan, we'll put a wee bit of our rapeseed oil in it. So we'll get our pan nice and hot, and the other thing I'm going to put into this here is this is just some mustard seed that I've soaked in a wee bit of ale, and for a couple of days actually. So it's essentially a mustard, And I've also got a wee bit of honey in that there. So that's just going to form, it's a very sort of light sauce with this. Wee splash of vinegar. And that's something that this is also quite popular in the north of England. Black pudding, very popular. And they would always have it with a wee bit of vinegar. And it tends to cut through the whole thing. And the clapshot's quite sweet, so this will bring it all together with just a wee bit of heat and a wee bit of sharpness. Okay, so just add my black pudding in there, and also the onion in at this stage. Just a bit of butter. You just get that lovely smell of pork and that lovely, just really subtle spices. So get that. It doesn't take an awful lot of cooking. It's already been boiled, so you're really just warming it up as well. So there we go. So just let that sit, and look at those onions, nicely cooked as well, and they'll pick up all the lovely flavour from the black pudding. I'm just going to flip these wee puddings over. Brings out that lovely darkness in it there. And then just a wee teaspoonful of our mustard seeds. So these just the mustard seeds, a wee bit of ale and a bit of honey. A wee bit of honey too will help bring the whole thing together as well. So that's nearly done there now, actually. Just a wee bit of cider vinegar here, just a splash, just to bring it all together. I'm getting a lovely smell now of pork and spices and mustard and vinegar, so it's all coming through. And the onions, black pudding and onions, even if you just fry them up with onions, that's perfect. I'm going to take a nice big spoonful of the clapshot. So just a nice big spoonful in the middle of our plate there. And then our black pudding. So our black pudding with lovely Ulster-Scots connection, because it's a recipe from somebody who lives here, but it's his great granny's recipe from Ayrshire. And then just our onions there. Onions and our mustard. And of course we've got our black pepper that was smoked by a man from Islay. That's our dish there. So it's a black pudding from Grace Hill, but to an Ayrshire recipe. And we've got our clapshot, which is Scottish, with the addition of the Ballycastle smoked black pepper. And we've got our ale and our mustard and our onions.